So, I wanted to share a little trick I found to easily restart Wacom drivers on both Mac and PC. I hear a lot of users saying they have to completely restart their computer to get their Wacom driver to start working again. This is usually overkill compared to some of the easier fixes. There is a troubleshooter in the current Wacom Desktop Center, but older versions might not have this tool built in, and when I know why my drivers are acting up, going through the troubleshooter is usually a waste of time and not always reliable to work. On PC, another option is to open your task manager and quit all Wacom processes, and restart the Wacom Desktop Center. You can do the same on Mac in your activity monitor, but these steps are still pretty inconvenient and slow. A slightly faster method on PC is by going into Services, finding the Wacom Professional service, and choosing Stop or Restart. This is a bit more reliable than the Wacom Desktop Center troubleshooter, but we still have a few more options that make this less of a hassle. There are two ways in Windows you can try to completely automate the driver to restart on its own. In the Services Manager, right-click the Wacom Professional service and click the Recovery tab. On first, second, or third failure, you can set the service to restart itself. The other neat automatic method is explained by Reddit user HoloHickey. There's a link to this method in the description. It uses the Windows Event Viewer to activate a task that restarts the Wacom service when it sees it has failed. These two methods are pretty great, but only seem to work about a third of the time. I'll usually need to restart it manually, like in cases where my PC is waking from sleep. The pen will stop working, but there's no logged failure for this process to run itself. So, if these automatic steps fail, I've made a couple of shortcuts for PC and Mac that force the driver to run through the same manual steps usually done through the Windows services and Apple's Activity Monitor. I can always depend on these when all else fails for fixing my specific driver hiccups. For the PC shortcut, it runs a command prompt to stop and start the services from this shortcut path. There will even be a command window pop up that tells you the status. This is also an alternate way of making the same command in a text file and turning it into a .bat file. But the .bat file has extra steps that this shortcut link just simplifies. And for Mac, I've made action workflows with the Automator app. You can run it from your desktop just like the PC version. It will run through the end and restart process you would have had to do through the activity monitor manually. And if you want to see how it's doing this, you can open it through the Automator app, where it will also show each step completed. These methods might not solve every issue, but for me it solves about 90% of them. And if you want these shortcuts, you can grab them for free on my Gumroad page, and if I ever need to update them, I'll have newer versions on the same page. I'll put this link in the description too. One thing to keep in mind is that the internal Wacom drivers for Mac changed the file locations after 10.13 High Sierra. So there are two different versions, make sure to unzip the correct one for your OS. I also included some icons if you want to change the look of these shortcuts as well. If you're concerned about downloading strange scripts from strangers, good, don't trust anybody. But these are actually really simple to make and require zero knowledge of scripting. So if you are still cautious about running them, there's a text file included with instructions explaining how to and where I learned how to make these. I hope you find these useful, and if they don't work for you, let me know and we'll try to figure it out.